Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Friday, September 15th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you're somebody that uses charts within your trading, or maybe just interested in learning more about this tool and how it can be used to help make good decisions as a trader, this would be a video for you. Couple of quick clarifications. Number one, the candlestick that you see right there will be moving around. That is because the market's still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. And then second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. So stock number one here, NKLA, very, very impressive move today. And now we have ourselves a beautiful pattern. So let me be very clear. As I draw this pattern, I'm not trying to impress you. I'm not trying to imply that this is some sort of special discovery or anything like that. A lot of people have noticed this pattern and are drawing it. And I say all that because when a lot of people are drawing the same pattern and watching and wondering the same things, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want, it can produce some very dynamic movements. So to make this easier to see, we have our red line as resistance. We have this green line down here as support. And then we have the big upwards movement right there. And for you golfers out there, to make it a little bit more visual, we'll put a golf hole down here, and this would be known as a bull pennant pattern. So while nothing is guaranteed, my point here is it valid? Is it plausible that, like I said earlier, even if it's just a self-fulfilling prophecy, that if the price comes up to this level and can get the break up through there, could that break generate even more upside buying pressure? That is certainly a valid conclusion. Again, not guaranteed to happen, but by no means irrational or anything like that. So if you like stocks down below $2, you like bull pennant patterns, definitely keep an eye on this one. Next one, AVTX, another nice mover here on this, and overall want to get some newer levels mapped out here. So the first level that curious about moving forward is going to be that trend line right there. So again, let me change that to green to represent support. And this would be the ideal level of support. And if you say, Clay, what would make this chart look the absolute best going forward? Definitely if the price can stay above that area. With that being said, don't get me wrong, if the price falls below that area, that doesn't mean the entire chart's destroyed or anything like that. Because from the bigger picture point of view, it's all about that purple line there, the 50-period moving average. Keyword there being moving. So as time goes by, that line is going to move itself higher and higher and basically act like a trend line that's going to draw itself for you. So as long as the price remains above that line, then from the overarching standpoint, the overall uptrend is still plenty in the bullish direction. As far as areas of resistance are concerned, key level at this point going to be right up here around this level where the price struggled several times around the 28-cent mark. So keep an eye on that 28-cent area right around there. But overall, like I said, from the big picture point of view, the stock is putting in, I guess you can't quite see that because it's behind my ugly mug. There we go. The price is putting in higher highs. It's putting in higher lows. And from, the big picture point of view, that's the name of the game. Next one, CGC. Been tracking this one very closely. And overall, it's looking like this has officially entered into just simply a sideways channel pattern. And I'm going to make one adjustment. Now, the adjustment here is good because I'm actually adjusting this area of resistance up a bit higher. And whenever levels of resistance need to be adjusted in the upward direction, from a bullish standpoint, that's definitely a good thing. But other than that, no other changes really need to be made from the previous videos I've done. So yes, newest area of resistance, top part of this sideways channel pattern, right up there at $1.48. And then as far as the bottom pattern, or bottom part of the pattern, the support down here, right at $1.04. So keep an eye on these couple levels moving forward. But really, no need to overcomplicate things. At this point, it's looking like it is going to turn into kind of one of these choppy situations. So moving forward, it's really just a question of who's ultimately going to win this battle. Are the bulls going to win with a break to the upside, or are the bears going to win with a break to the downside? That all remains to be seen. Next one, ticker symbol ARM. Big headline one today with the IPO. Everybody's all excited about it because it's had a good IPO. And as I speak, you can see very, very nice last 30 minutes here as this thing breaks out. So not a whole lot to talk about because obviously there's not a whole lot of data with it. But I can still point out a couple of dynamics, mainly from the pullback standpoint. So if you like to play pullbacks, a couple levels that stand out. First area right here at the $61 mark. So change that to green. And then for more of a conservative pullback, and if you want to see this thing come down quite a bit more, right down there around $58.25. So keep an eye on that. As far as resistance levels, again, nothing I can really say here because there's just no data when you look back this way because today is literally the first day that it's ever traded. But just from a general standpoint, if you like volatility, if you like stocks that are getting good solid volume and are making good quality movements, then this would definitely fit the bill for that. So even if you're just searching for stocks with those two criteria, nice volume, good volatility, then definitely keep an eye on ARM for Friday. Next one here, AMC, a tricky chart to talk about from a presentation standpoint. because it's going to depend on your, your strategy. What do I mean? Well, if you're a day trader, flipper, scalper, whatever you want to call yourself, and you bought right there and your plan was to buy and sell within, 7 minutes, well, then from that perspective, the chart is an absolute train wreck. With that being said, if you care about things from the bigger picture point of view, yeah, I fully understand it gapped up and now has just come down, and dropped some more. But from a trend building standpoint, think about what's going on in the first dynamic, which I've already talked about on that other chart, was, keep an eye on that purple line. And as long as the price can stay above there, then overall the trend is still up. And that's what we have here. The price is still not only above that purple line, but it's actually, not even, it's kind of close, but it's not totally close to it either. But point here being is that purple line there wasn't even tested today. Now this whole, scenario changes if the price comes down to that purple line and then just keeps dropping down and down below that. But that has not happened right now. So from a bigger picture point of view, you still got to give the advantage to the bulls. But once again, to reiterate, that's a matter of perspective. Those of you that bought right there as day traders, you don't care about that purple line at all. But that's why I'm trying to distinguish that I'm making these comments from somebody that cares more so about the big picture point of view. So yes, is this a good or bad looking chart? That depends on your reference point going into the actual trade. Real quick, want to take a quick break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online training that I'm offering. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used to build consistency and manage risk, then definitely get signed up for the free live event. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link in the description box, or if you're watching at my site, there's an area right there on the webpage you can click on. But one special note, it is a genuine live event. So a couple scenarios. If you already have something on your schedule this evening, I totally understand. I have 5 kids. I understand schedules are crazy. Go ahead, send me an email. Or if you just flat out missed it because you're watching this Friday morning and you'd like to see it, again, go ahead, drop me an email, and I would be happy to send you a link to the replay. All I ask is, because it's a truly live event, it's first got to happen, and then I'll be able to send you a link after I get it uploaded. But if you can make it live, then definitely get signed up, and I'll see you here in just a few hours. Next one, ticker symbol MULN, and nice uptrend here. As I talked about in a previous one, let's make sure you can see. We have the nice higher lows. We have the higher highs in motion. And then today we have ourselves a nice little pattern within this context, and that is another bull pennant pattern. Now for the bottom part of the pattern, I'm just going to go ahead and use the pink line here, the 200 period moving average. So let's extend that out, and it'll look something like that. And then as far as the resistance is concerned, I will actually use an actual trend line, which is right there. So hopefully we can use your imaginations, and let's just keep it one color to make it that much easier, hopefully. So we have resistance, we have support, we have a nice upwards move there, golf hole down here. So within the overall uptrend, which I started off talking about, we have this nice little bull pennant pattern. I'd say the biggest difference here is that this is a penny stock. So if you prefer penny stocks and you like bull pennant patterns, here you go. Next one, TSLA Tesla, and interesting dynamic here. Talked about previously how this one had entered into this sideways channel and how it became a question of who's ultimately going to win out. And right now it's looking like the bulls have won out, but I'm not totally convinced, because sure, to be fair, the price is up above, the top part of that channel. There's no doubt about that. But I wouldn't call that an explosive move or anything like that. So in my mind, it's more so a question headed into Friday of, okay, is this the start of something bigger? Which is a fun, exciting question to ask in the first place. I mean, think about it. You can't ask that question if nothing worthwhile happens in the first place. But something worthwhile has happened. It's broken the top of the channel. To be fair, maybe it's not. Maybe this thing rolls right back over. But that is a two-sided coin, because, maybe this is the start of something bigger, and this thing really gets rocking and rolling on Friday. So that's really the biggest dynamic here is, okay, price is broken in the top part of the channel. Is this the start of a much bigger move? We'll see what happens. Next one here, AMZN, Amazon, and overall, a fine-looking chart. But the last 30 minutes here, makes you kind of scratch your head a little bit. Good sized red candle, looking down there at the volume bar, big volume bar. Now, does one 30-minute candle destroy a chart? Absolutely not. It just kind of, the chart could have looked so much better had it not had that last 30 minutes. But it is what it is at this point. And from the bigger picture point of view, I've already talked about this level, so maybe you know what I'm going to talk about next. But big picture, the price is still nicely above that purple line there, which is why I reiterate, this last 30-minute candle doesn't destroy anything, especially if you care about the bigger picture point of view, because the price is still very nicely up above that purple line there. So worth keeping an eye on from that dynamic, assuming, of course, you care about more so a bigger picture. In terms of the near-term levels, looking like the very stubborn level here where a lot of sellers are currently hanging out at, right up there around that 145.75 mark. You can see, let's see, once, twice, 3 times, basically about 4 or 5 times. Price got right up around that area. and the price just, ran out of momentum. So it does not mean that that area can't be broken. I'm just pointing out that very clearly there are some sellers up around that area, and then if the price is going to push through there, the buyers are going to have to bring their A game. But overall, nice looking overall chart. Price still above that 50 period moving average. So all eyes on 145.75 to see if the bulls can push up through. Next, AAPL, Apple, and overall, maybe trying to bottom out here. You can see that we go back here and talked about this yesterday or a couple days ago. I honestly don't remember, but we had, nope, my ugly mug once again is in the way. There we go. But we had this level down here that I know I've talked about in at least a video previous. I don't remember when exactly, but talked about potential maybe double bottom, and check it out. Price came down here, and you can't make this stuff up. That's why I'll turn that into a quick plug. Go get signed up for that free class. Charts really are a great tool. But we now have a double bottom potentially in play. And I say that because, yeah, there has been some bounce off of it, but nothing compared to what could potentially happen. But as I've said already, maybe this thing is done and this thing rolls right back over. But two-sided coin, because, well, maybe this double bottom is just getting started and this thing's going to make a nice move up. So from a risk-reward scenario, that assumes, of course, you're going to honor risk and know how to be disciplined. But if you can do that, then yes, from a risk versus reward scenario, you're looking at a very potentially favorable situation where the upside reward heavily outweighs the downside. Next one, TQQQ, which is an ETF that measures the NASDAQ market. So if you're somebody that thinks that the NASDAQ market as a whole is going to rise, this one will also rise. Biggest difference, it just allows you access at a much lower price point. And NASDAQ had a good day today, so therefore this one had a good day. And some updates need to be made. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these levels as they've served their purpose for now. But first update comes about just based on a foundational rule in charting, which states when levels of resistance are broken and closed above, you want to see them act as support. So newest area of support moving forward, right there at 41.50. In terms of areas of resistance, now that we have more data, I'm going to go ahead and adjust this area. And again, it comes to a question of, well, what direction is this adjustment being made? And I'm going to adjust this area of resistance now up to that level there at $42.20, which is good. Assuming you're bullish, when levels of resistance need to be adjusted higher, that is definitely a good thing. So in the very near term, keep an eye on 42.20, but I do want to add in one final level just in case Friday is a beast mode day, with the next key overarching level being up there right around 42.85, which is coming from these highs over here. But overall, good solid day. So that wraps up the top 10 list. Again, if you like what you saw here, then I want you to go get signed up for that free live class. It'll be Thursday, September 14th, so this evening at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So I hope to see you there. But like I mentioned earlier, if you can't make it live for whatever reason, go ahead, send me an email, clay@claytrader.com, and I would be happy to send you a link to the replay. As far as these top 10 videos are concerned, if you enjoy these, please do two things for me. Hit the like button, leave a comment, say hi, tell me what you traded today, tell me what you're watching tomorrow. But those two things help out the channel, they help out the videos, and I really do appreciate it. So something as simple as a basic comment, hitting the like button really does help out quite a bit. So do those two things. If you can't make it live, send me an email. But if you can, then I'll be seeing you here in just a few hours.